What if addiction isn't just a brain disease or a behavioral problem, but fundamentally a spiritual quest gone awry?
Wow, that really flips the usual script, doesn't it? I mean, we're so used to thinking about addiction purely in terms of neurochemistry or trauma.
Exactly. And that's the problem. Most treatments focus narrowly on biology or behavior, and relapse rates stay stubbornly high. It's like we're only treating the surface, not the whole picture.
Right, and the stakes here are huge. Jobs, health, families, even lives depend on getting this right. So by the end of this episode, listeners with clinical experience will see addiction through a new lens, one that integrates neurobiology, trauma, and spiritual hunger. That's a game changer for lasting recovery.
Yeah, so let's unpack this three-layer framework, starting with the brain, the neurobiology of addiction. Repeated substance use rewires the brain's reward system through dopamine pathways, right?
The brain essentially learns to expect that chemical reward, and over time, it downregulates its own pleasure receptors, so the substance becomes necessary just to feel normal.
And that's why withdrawal isn't about weakness or moral failure. It's genuine neurological distress.
Exactly. So clinically, the first priority is stabilizing the brain. Safety, routine, sleep, nutrition. Trauma or spiritual work too early just won't hold, because the brain's still in chaos.
But here's a key nuance. Dopamine explains the mechanism of addiction, but it doesn't explain why someone started using in the first place.
Right, and that's where the second layer comes in. The wound. The original pain or trauma the substance was trying to manage.
Loneliness, shame, grief, rage. Things that were unbearable and needed managing. The substance was a temporary fix, but at a huge cost.
And the clinical approach here is subtle but crucial. Instead of asking, "Why do you use?" which triggers shame and shuts down conversation, we ask, "What were you trying to solve?"
That shift alone reduces shame, which is a major relapse factor.
It's very much in line with Gabor Mate's work, meeting the wound with compassionate presence, not correction or judgment.
Yeah, many clients have never had someone just sit with their pain without flinching or trying to fix it. That presence itself is therapeutic.
So trauma work has to be shame-reducing and compassionate, not shaming or corrective.
Now, the third layer is the deepest, the hunger, addiction as spiritual seeking.
This is fascinating. The intoxication experience mimics aspects of genuine spiritual states: warmth, expansion, dissolution of self, unconditional acceptance. But it's a counterfeit, a false prophet.
Near-death experience accounts describe a vast, luminous, non-judgmental reality that substances only faintly approximate.
So addicts aren't chasing destruction. They're chasing something real and profound they haven't found yet. They just picked the wrong door.
And clinically, the task isn't to slam that counterfeit door shut, but to help the person find the authentic spiritual experience they're seeking.
I like the caution about language here. Words like God carry so much baggage. This framework points to a universal, non-judgmental ground of being, accessible regardless of faith or lack thereof.
Yeah, the metaphor of fingers pointing at the moon really captures that. Different traditions point to the same underlying reality, but the words aren't the thing itself.
So addressing spiritual hunger provides a positive, forward-moving focus in recovery, beyond just abstinence.
Which brings us to why existing treatments often fall short. Detox and medication only treat the brain, layer 1, so the wound and hunger remain unaddressed, leading to relapse.
Trauma therapy without spiritual work, layers 1 and 2, helps understand pain but leaves a void, no positive direction to move toward.
And shame-based models actually deepen the wound, reinforcing negative self-beliefs and increasing relapse risk.
That's why AA works for some, not because of the steps per se, but because of surrender to something larger and the sense of belonging. That's layer 3 in action.
There are also 3 guiding questions to hold in every session. What are you feeling right now? Where did you first learn to feel that way? And what did you need then that you didn't get?
Those questions aren't always asked outright, but they guide the therapeutic process toward uncovering the wound and unmet needs beneath the addiction.
Ultimately, the goal isn't just sobriety. It's cultivating a self you don't need to escape from. Integrated, present, connected.
And beyond that, recovery is a path toward the authentic experience the addict was always seeking. Real connection, real presence, the sense of being held by something larger than pain.
Which is exactly what substances promised but could never deliver.
So this 3-layer framework isn't a protocol. It's a way of seeing addiction that demands honesty, compassion, and integration across biology, psychology, and spirituality.
It really challenges us to rethink clinical approaches and research priorities. If we miss any layer, recovery is fragile.
Yeah, and it invites us to hold complexity without reducing addiction to just brain chemistry, or trauma, or spirituality alone.
So for clinicians and researchers listening, this framework offers a richer map, one that could improve outcomes by addressing the full human experience behind addiction.
Absolutely. It's a call to meet people where they are, neurologically, emotionally, and spiritually.
And that, I think, is the kind of integration that can finally move the needle on relapse and recovery.
Definitely. It's a deeper, more humane way to understand and support those struggling with addiction.
Well, that was a lot to unpack, but hopefully it gives listeners a fresh perspective on addiction and recovery.
Yeah, something to really sit with and reflect on.
Thanks for exploring this with me.
Likewise.